You bright eyed and bushy tail this morning,
No.
ready to rock and roll?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Well, at least you truthful anyway.
Well, I see you've
Yeah, I got the
pulled out some doors here.
Got them out for a lady.
Just a man of your word.
Yeah.
Now look, I went to the bank and talked to Buster Grimsley about borrowing a couple of $100 to pay you for what you've done here, and they told me that he's dead.
Yeah, he's passed away.
And I hate to hear that, so I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get the money or not.
Yeah, well, we'll have to put you on that payment plan.
Payment plan.
Yeah.
Now what? Look what. Now this, as usual in most of our videos, Minuteman don't wait around. That's how he got the name. And you can clearly see he's got the top of the engine tore off here. I'm seeing things I've never seen before. You got the valve covers off, your intake, the plenum.
Yeah.
So what did you discover here so we can get caught up on the...
Yeah, our leaking problem was leaking right on that front part, right where that water jacket is right here. This water jacket.
Yeah.
It's got, you know, it's got 4 of them. Got one on each corner. And where the water circulates through the block, it was leaking right in the corner. If you get a close shot in there, you can see the gasket's broken.
Oh, the gasket's still on there?
Mhm.
Point at it for me.
Yeah. Let me get my pencil where I can keep my big old thumb out of the way. Right in here, where the end of this pencil is a little ridge cut through there.
Right.
Now this is not nothing uncommon for these 4.0s. I don't know what it was, but this is the second one that I've dealt with.
Okay.
And every one of them, these 2 has been broke right there. But as time goes on, I guess these gaskets shrink. They got metal in them, but they still got a type material on top of them. They sort of shrink, and then 2, the bolts after they shrink got loose, and actually they was a bolt here. Each one of these holes you see, there's a bolt goes down through here.
Right.
And they was 2 of these bolts right here. You nearly turn with your fingers.
Yeah, you said they had worked
So
loose.
they were loose on this side more than they were on this side.
Right.
But these over here didn't take. I just barely did bump them a little bit. You know, they probably had. If I was guessing, they might have had 3 or 4 pounds of torque on.
Okay, so they
got loose.
Bad loose.
Yeah, and I reckon over time. But you know, and 2, a lot of people might make a mistake when they replace that gasket about replacing it with the cheapest thing they can find. But that's not the case. You don't need to do that. You need to go with a good gasket. It's got the metal. It's got metal in it.
Well, I got news for you. Last night, I didn't waste no time. I ordered the, well, it'll be 2 valve cover gaskets, and it'll be 2 other gaskets, I guess the intake, and it was 4 gaskets in total.
Yeah.
It'd be the 2, 1 for each valve cover, and then the intake.
And then the plenum gasket
Yeah,
and the intake gasket. Yeah, and 2, they make a cork gasket for the valve cover, but
yeah, this was the.
But it's you know, it's so tight to get in and out. I would recommend to put a real good gasket, which I don't have the number right off hand, but it's made by Felpro.
Well, Felpro is the ones I ordered, so
Yeah,
that should have the metal in the.
It does. It has a metal in the gaskets, and they call them a dry something or another, but they are they're a better gasket. They'll cost you about 4 or 5 times more than a set of cork gaskets. You can get a set of cork gaskets for a little of nothing, $5, $6, $7, $8. But these are about 25, 30 bucks for a set of them. So I would recommend, if as tight as these little motors is, about all your stuff that's around them. Which you see, I didn't pull no alternators, no brackets, no nothing.
Well, you did. You was able to keep from pulling the alternator and like your air conditioning.
Yeah, I worked around it, but it would be much easier to pull the air conditioner over here and the power steering pump and this bracket loose here, because getting this valve cover off on the driver's side is so tight on account of all your wiring harness. And the way they lace this wiring harness right down over the top of the intake and right across the front, and all of these wires is loomed around your neck. If you'll notice your neck on your thermostat, and I left the thermostat house and all on. I was going to try to take it off, but there was no way, so I had to go back and break the bolts loose and take it off, because you got.
Well, it ain't no thermostat in it. We're gonna have to take it back off.
Yeah. Well, anyway, but this one wire right here that's going down to the front, it's going to your crankshaft positioning sensor, and I had everything loose except that, and I didn't want to go to the trouble of taking it loose. If I'd have took it loose, I could have picked this wiring harness up, and that'll give us some slack. And then you've got these two right here. You've got these two here. This is fuel rail. This is your back part of the fuel rail, and this one right here goes to the front part.
Yeah.
So, you know, them's in your way. You got to lay out, take all these apart and everything. And but we've got everything disassembled, and that's the reason I left that intake gasket for you to look at. And so I blowed up as much of the squirrels bringing in
yeah, they had some
anchors and stuff on the motor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one reason that a lot of people make mistakes about leaving a car or truck setting up a pretty good while, and squirrels and rats will get in under your hood. And it was a prime example yesterday. Went over to a gentleman's house, and his truck wouldn't crank, and it was a 350 5.7 GMC, and the squirrels had got in there and chewed the wires into going to the distributor.
Oh my.
And I told him, I said, well, you know, you sitting out here in the edge of these woods, and you got it parked out here, and you just crank it every 5 or 6 months. I said, a lot of times if you'll raise the hood up a little bit and let some light go in there, then squirrels and rats won't come in there. But anyway, a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, they just set up homestead
they come
there,
in there and they'll build a nest and everything else. But they did. They cut his wires, chewed them in two, but we was able to splice them and get him back up and going. And,
yeah.
So
maybe he'll remember that.
Yeah.
In the future. All right, let's look at this right here now.
That's the intake. And here was the plenum. When I pulled it off, these old gaskets brittle. These pieces right here stayed on. They cracked, and they could have been cracked, but maybe not. Maybe they cracked once I pulled it loose. But they so old and brittle, you know. They see how easy they break.
Yeah, I see that.
So, but that's the top part of the intake there on your plenum, where your throttle body goes. So, but you know, this 4.0 is sort of made like the old style 390s, 360s, 352s, because if you'll notice that part of the intake is got where your valve cover's set. So to get this intake off, you got to remove them valve covers. And a 390, 360, 352, I guess 427, all of them engines is set up like this. And I noticed that 4.0 has got the old style rocker arms on it. If you'll notice here, it's got the rails like the old. You take these rails loose right here. This is the same old style as the 360s and all has. And but now you take this 97 model. This was a 93. That's a 97 model, and it has the 4.2 V6 in it, and it went to the new style. It's got the individual rocker arms that you take off.
Right.
So it's made different than these 4.0s. But these is good little motors right here. Yeah, we're gonna get started here in a little bit. We're gonna get us some cleaner, and we're gonna start cleaning some parts, and get this one all cleaned up and ready to go back together.
Yeah, it's looking like a regular old tire shop up here. If you had your bunch of tires and a way to change them and balance them,
Yeah.
You'd be in full blown business here.
Yeah, we get all these trucks
For free.
and stuff painted. We can put us up a tire mount machine back there in a balancer.
Yeah.
And a lathe for to turn brake drums and just go full blown.
Yeah, I know what you can name this. Your tire service. I already got a name for it.
Oh, I know it. Something about free.
Charity tire service. Come
You
one,
think we get any business?
come one, come all.
You know
He would even buy the tires for them, balance them, and mount them up. I mean, you'd have them lined up to here to at the city of Fayette. And one thing for sure, if we didn't make, we would get a lot of views on those videos where you see we'd be slinging tires left and right, wouldn't we? Son, grab that right there. Let's go.
We'd be getting calls all the way from New York.
Yeah. Hey, son, grab that right. But hey, you know what? If you can work your way into heaven, you're going to do it.
No, you ain't working your way to heaven.
Well, we've been doing the job here. Been doing scrubbing these valve covers here, trying to get them all cleaned up. Looking pretty good right now. Getting that old baked on stuff off. Now right here, Daddy called it the valley gasket, where your intake was, but right there is where the problem happened. Right there, you can see it had deteriorated and came apart. That's where our leaking was coming from, and that's amazing how that little bit of damage right there, it burned your engine up, wouldn't it?
Yeah, overheat.
So what you doing in here? You getting ready, cleaning up?
Yeah, I'm trying to clean all this old gasket, particles and stuff like that off around where we're gonna be replacing our new gasket. So basically around our water ports, we putting a little iron grinder on it and cleaning them up, and
all right.
Yeah, we just sort of trying to get it looking a little better. That thing right there clean them gaskets now.
Chicago pneumatic.
Yeah. And
you want to give let them see how it works right
yeah,
there?
it's like 12,000 RPM.
Man, that thing, you get it.
You just have to pretty much, if you ain't got a regulator on it, you have to regulate it, because it'll definitely turn up some R's for you there. Yep. But yeah, we just gonna try to polish these all up, and we're gonna clean all this area up where the gasket was. And so once we get this intake, we got the intake over there pretty clean and like a little bit. We're gonna wash it off again, I think, pressure wash it.
Oh yeah, let me show that intake. Yeah, I didn't show that. I was showing the valve covers over here. But boy, he did a good job on this. Now, I would said I did it, but I'd be lying. So you can see he's put the scrubbing and rubbing on it. He also used that grinder, as you can see where the gasket goes for this intake. And then too, not only that, this is one of those type of intakes where the valve cover comes up on also. And these are your fuel injectors. And this is for your top plenum. Gasket goes up here. He cleaned all that up. Looking good.
Sound like that old dentist at the dentist, don't it?
It does. You ain't gonna charge me a dentist price for doing this, are you?
Oh, no.
Well, pretty good job here, ain't it?
Oh no, it ain't too bad.
Hopefully, won't be long. We'll have this thing back running. So you had to do some body work on it.
Well, it's got metal inside of it. I'm trying to form it before I get it up there where it'll feel a little better. There she is now. She's right up on me now.
What you like? You like which one you like? Body work or mechanic work better? Neither.
Neither one.
Neither one of them. Are you gonna put some sillet on that side of it too?
I already got it on the top of the gasket in there for this, on each side of the water ports.
Right.
I won't put none on these.
I could have toted that.
It ain't that heavy.
Yeah, it's aluminum. Got some lines back
Well, I
there.
got it pulled back. I'm going forward with it, and then I'm fixing to drop it back to the back. So
Here.
and the way this thing is set up, where you put that sealer across it, there's no gasket there. And if you don't get it right, that's where you get all this oil leaking back and front. And that's the reason why you go to using oil, you know. A lot of people don't know that. I need to get the torque spec on that. And
Well, I'll look that up now. You can get the torque spec.
yeah, see what it is, and we'll get our torque wrench and everything set up here. We'll go ahead and torque them.
Yeah, now we finally got our sequence. Let's see, what is it? What is the sequence again? It's not sequence. Your first torque is a 12 foot, and you got to go in a certain sequence here. How many boats? Is it 8 boats?
Right.
And then the final torquing is 16 foot pounds.
Yeah.
So go ahead and he's gonna do it in this sequence right here. When it reaches the poundage on it, it quits.
It got a click on it. It ain't went down in there.
Yeah, I'm seeing that. No, it ain't going, did it? Well, listen, let me try it.
Let me give it.
What's that camera doing in my face all the time? It's been a long time since you've had a camera in your face, hasn't it? Huh?
Yeah.
Hey, it's been a long time since you had a camera in your face, ain't it?
I thought that was a cat.
No wonder you wanted to quit doing this. You got tired of that camera being in your face, didn't you? I don't guess we're going to ever make 1,000 subscribers, are we?
I don't know. Be hard, won't it?
A lot of work to it. I bet you in your time you have been in some tight spots with some boats, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
Can you remember some of the roughest ones you've ever dealt with?
No.
You ain't got one in particular in mind that says it has almost made you give up on mechanic work?
I've run into some. I thought if they was got any harder than that, I was gonna quit. But I'd be back at it again.
I mean, like you take a wrench, you could only move like a quarter of an inch turns,
Yeah.
and you'd be there 3
Oh,
hours.
I've been in them like that. Yeah. I've been in them before. I've had an hour and a half on one boat.
Hour and a half.
Got trying to get it in. It's so tight of a place to get in.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. If you had waited an hour and a half to get one boat in, you was dedicated.
Oh.
And I bet you at the end of the job when they went, hey, how much I owe you? What did you tell them?
I'd say, you don't owe me nothing.
You don't owe me nothing.
And they'd say, really? You've been on it 3 weeks. You don't know you.
You've been on it for 3 weeks.
I just need to learn never to work on this again. There's a boat there somewhere. If I can find it.
Now, is this the side you're talking about over here on the left side? Well,
yeah, this
the right
one,
side.
This one. See, I went ahead and moved the air conditioner out of the way.
Oh yeah, I see that.
And pulled them hoses where I could get this back.
Might need to go and move this this alternator, because I'm gonna tell you, it took me removing this right here to be able to get that one boat in. Not that one right there where my finger's pointing. You'd think the one on the bottom right there would have been tough, and it was. But no, that one right there where my finger's pointing.
Yeah.
That one right there made me realize I didn't want to do no mechanic work for no living.
Is that right?
Yeah. Now you probably could have figured out a better way, but me, I don't have less than a 12th grade education, and I was thinking to myself, who does this for a living?
Yeah, there's a lot of people who thinks that same thing too.
I want to take this opportunity, and probably a lot of people want to know why I got an Altoids can mounted under the hood of this truck. Do you know why I got that Altoids can mounted under the hood of this truck?
You talking about me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You see a bunch of wires.
There was a relay on the inside of the truck, on the windshield wiper relay, I believe it was.
Yeah.
Was annoying you, and you decided to take that relay and move it out of the cab where it wouldn't be annoying you, and put it on the hood.
Yeah. When it was on delay for the windshield wipers, it'd make this loud clicking noise. Tick, tick.
Yep. I remember that. It'd make that clicking noise.
And I thought to myself, and I don't know why it got on my nerves so bad, but I started brainstorming. And let me tell you something, y'all. It was not easy getting the box way up under the dash. Now, that box was way up under the dash where that...
the box you're talking about now, it wasn't that box.
No, it was a module in plastic box with that relay, and it had a board in there. And I ended up taking that box out and desoldering that relay and putting it in its own circuit board and running all the wires back to that box, so I don't have to hear that ticking noise. So it's kind of like a modern vehicle in there. You don't have to.
And he powered it up from out here on the...
No, that's actually that's for lights inside of the vehicle. Okay. All the power and stuff is coming from that box.
So I seen what good job he done on all this wiring. I said, I know he can wire up that all that stuff up in under that hood on this board.
Yeah, I went ahead and clipped down so you can see it. I'm gonna move in there real close. You can see
the board.
See the board and the relay. Hopefully you can. Well, yeah, I went through all that trouble. But I don't hear that clicking noise no more. That relay's out here. Well, here you are. You're back to cleaning.
Yeah, I couldn't get to that spot. It was so tight in there.
Oh, yeah. You got the alternator off, y'all. I tell you what, it'll make a world of difference. That'll make a world of difference on some room. Now, it's going to help, but it ain't going to be perfect.
Got the air conditioner off on the other side. So if you're changing valve cover gaskets, it will make it easier to get them back on. If you got that stuff loose, you can pull that air conditioner compressor to the front, and you ain't got to discharge it. You can just leave it everything.
Yeah, keep your lines hooked up.
Yeah, hooked up on it. And
now after we get this all back together, you think it'll go another 200,000?
I don't know. About the 200,000.
Man, what if you could get another 200,000 miles out of this old truck? And think about all the money you would save not paying a regular monthly car note.
Man, yeah.
Putting some of this Well, it ain't blue RTV. It's a black.
Yeah.
What's that little? You got a.
Putting it actually right there where the intake meets the head.
We gonna put the valve cover gasket.
Yeah. Slide it over.
Man, you just about to be in reverse.
Don't want to get in reverse.
You ain't trying to get done where you can run me off, are you?
No, I ain't gonna. May not get done today, will it? See what that? See
wait a
that
minute.
gasket right there in the center.
Yeah. You
Look
gonna
at
have to.
look at it. That's what I was talking about. These gaskets just ain't fitting like they
Wait,
were.
you had me thinking these were the top of the line.
They are top of the line, but you know.
Well, first of all, we're out of square.
Yeah, I've been pulling them around, you know, as a.
I would think you need to put some more of that glue around here to hold it.
Nah, I don't need it. Get too much, it'll spit out on you. You just have to work them around, line them up as you go. Yeah, this sort of. Line them up as you go. Once you get it set up in there, it seems like it goes pretty good.
I'm glad I came over here today.
Me too. I just don't really like the way that looks.
What are you talking about?
And even over here on this side. Come here and look at it right here. Look how the gaskets. They're lining up on it good, but look.
I don't think that's right, Diddy.
I know that looks like to me these is coming out. Even on this side it was coming out too. I tried it 3 or 4 different ways. And it sort of made me think, just by looking at it, making me think that this is not the right gaskets.
I went by the numbers you gave me.
Well, it said 4.0, you know. 90.
You kind of feel like you're making me feel like that, like yesterday when I had been up under that sink 4 or 5 times in a space that a Jimmy the Cricket, he would even have a hard time. And then come to find out, after replacing water valves, water lines, I've come to find out it's my faucet that's cracked and leaking. It ain't none of it. And now here I am looking ahead to buy a simple water leak. Is going to cost over $100 to fix. Think about that. On a sink we don't even hardly use.
Very seldom ever do use.
It's in the laundry room. And here it is. He's telling me that we probably got the wrong gaskets.
Yeah, I probably gave you the wrong
I'll
one.
end up, this is Placo. Going to Placo. I don't know, it's looking like it. I don't know. Should you not put it on the valve cover itself and
I already put it on there, man. It looks okay on the valve cover. See, it's not fitting none of this stuff.
Oh no.
See, and you put it this way, see where it's at. Turn it back this way, see. It ain't
And turn it around this way. Flip it. Yeah, come on.
See, in it. See, it
Still ain't.
Everything is wrong. I mean, it's not. This is close as it can be. I tried both sides. I'm gonna take that one back off. I didn't, because this right here, these curves needs to be right in there like that. They need to be in that like that, because if they're out of that, so it's not catching a seal here and it's not catching a seal there like it ought to be. And then what was throwing me off was, you see these that I got these in line, look at them.
Yeah.
How far off them is.
Well, let me ask you this. I don't want to talk this junk, but if these are wrong, what about that one you put in on the intake?
No, it was right.
I mean, there ain't gonna be no hose that are being blocked up on that gasket.
I checked it out good.
I mean, we all know about being in reverse, but you know what? I think we're gonna have to. I went for the. How did you look this up?
Perfect there, but this upper side's wrong. Let me pull this other side back off, and then, because these gaskets ain't gonna help us right here.
Well, I guess you're working.
It wasn't looking good, and I tried the other gasket. I said, well, it's maybe the difference in the gaskets. I couldn't ever get the other gasket fit like I wanted it either.
So you're seeing the same thing over here with this
Yeah.
gasket where it's...
Yeah, I got to watching that, and I said,
Where's the blue?
that ain't
You
right.
see it?
Yeah, you can see the blue. I said, it ain't right. Something's going on, so.
Well, y'all, looks like we're back to the drawing board. We're going to have to figure out what's going on with these gaskets here. All right. We were just looking at these gaskets wrong. We finally figured out a combination here of how to switch them around and get all your hose lining up, as you can see right here. But yeah, we're about to give up on this set of gaskets. Now these are some good looking gaskets. It's Pro. I went in and put some glue on the edges so it'll hold them, because we were having a problem with this gasket moving. But I believe it's going to get us where we need to be. So we're going to start putting these valve covers back on. I'm thankful for that, because I wasn't looking forward to going back and spending any more money on this stuff. Hello everybody, and here we are doing some serious fast forwarding. And I feel confident that we've bored y'all silly so far on these videos, and I'm putting the cap on it right here. So here we have it. The old truck's running good. Got all the gaskets on, the intake, as you know, the plenum. Got the valve cover gaskets working, and actually what the problem there was, we had the wrong gasket on the wrong valve cover. Of course, I didn't explain that in the video, but everything seems to be running good, and I'm proud to say that this thing is roadworthy again, and looking forward to getting back in it and using it, because I got a lot of stuff to haul off here. So looking forward to using it once more. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate y'all watching.